Peace and blessings. This is Lisa Marie. I hope you are perfect, whole, and complete. Hope your day is going well. And I feel naked. I don't have my rings on. Where's my sage? Okay, let's go get some stuff. If I'm like 100% prepared, it just wouldn't. I don't know. Let's go. The lighters are gone. I hope you're well, perfect, whole, and complete. I hope your day is absolutely going fabulously. I hope that Lakeisha is here. Good morning. Hey, Keish, how are you? So y'all saw the title. That question we love to ask ourselves, but I think if we asked ourselves this question, expecting an answer, it would be so much more helpful to us. Why me? The why me question. Why me? And like I said, in itself, it's a great question because it means why did this, God, you could have chose anyone else. You could have not allowed me to even go through this trauma or drama or problem or challenge, right? But you didn't do that. That's what you're really asking. You're asking the divine. Why did you choose me to learn this lesson? Why did this have to happen to me? Because a lot of times the why me is, why did this thing happen that totally and forever has changed my life to the point that I don't even feel like I'm going to ever be the same again? That's what you're really asking. So it's something about spiritual people. I'm including myself as one of them. We hear these terms, we know about these terms, things called like spiritual warfare, right? And Babylon falling, right? And all of these things. And the thing is, we sing about it, chant about it. Some of us even pray about a new world, a world filled with peace and love. And I think that if everyone, my mother used to tell us as we were growing up as children, that if every human being on earth, and it has to be everyone, would go to sleep with the thought of peace, when we woke up in the morning, peace would be among us. We would actually see it, we would have it. But the fact is, everyone is not and will not, and make sure I want to make sure about dress, will not go to sleep with the thought of peace. It's not going to happen, right? So a lot of people go to sleep with the thought of war, of anger, of fear. A lot of times it's fear and lack of resources, scarcity mindset, not being enough, not loving themselves, not even knowing how to love themselves, right? Never experience that thing called love for themselves, right? So in some cultures, even that love for self is not a thing that is even realistic in a lot of cultures. It's not, you don't wake up thinking about, how can I love myself more? You know, you might even be taught, how can you love others? How can you put others before yourself? And I'm saying, I'm not just saying cultures outside of the U.S. I'm saying a lot of us, through religion and other things, we grew up to believe that it's not about us, right? It's about everything outside of us. So anything that comes to us, it must be something outside of us that has caused it. Rarely are we taught that what is happening to us, happening in our environment, is actually a way for the universe and ourselves, the divine within ourselves, to get our attention to say, hey, you're causing this. Or you were chosen for this. And today we're going to talk about the chosen for. You've heard of the causing, you've heard of the law of attraction. Let's talk about this idea that you were chosen for whatever experience that is going on in your life. So as spiritual people, again, we talk about spiritual warfare, Babylon falling. Why do we think that we're not going to be a part of that? So if there's a boundary line, then there's an opposite. So if there's a peace, there's a war. If the war is the boundary line that's falling, if the war, which it says spiritual warfare, you can't fight with yourself. You're fighting against something else. So all the warlocks and all the warmongers, right, and all of the bad people, we're going to call them the lower ups because they're not really higher, right? They're just in positions of somewhat we call power. Well, who would they wage a spiritual war on if it wasn't for the spiritual people? How could you have a spiritual war and you as a spiritual person would think that you would not be attacked? Why then would it be called a spiritual war? So you are the very person, because you are the person that can see without hating, see without wanting to hurt and get revenge. That is the true definition of a light worker. Not that you turn the other cheek and get slapped, punched, and beaten. Oh no. You definitely are going to fight back. But you're not fighting fire with fire. You're fighting fire with love. And the love is, guess what? It's the love for yourself. You can only get attacked if your barriers are down, if your boundaries are down. Think about it. In a war zone, and there's the servicemen that are fighting, the soldiers, they have barricades. They don't just run out in the field and get shot down. They have coverings and backup and front up, if you will, all the way till they get as close to the enemy within a safe range. They have boundaries. They have blockades. Because they know that they are not fighting and want to die. They actually want to live, and they're fighting not just for themselves, but for the next generation. You have everything in you. You are the war. The war is raged against you, spiritual person, you, spiritual being. So when you sit and ask, why me? Understand that how could it be a spiritual warfare if we're not fighting against the spiritual, or if they're not fighting against the spiritual? Are you not the spiritual? Are you not the spiritual? You are the spiritual. The thing is, right, there's what looks like the spiritual, right? So some people call it spiritual war because it's like good over evil. So they're giving evil its place in spirituality. That's what they're coming from. They're still evil as it pertains to demonic, which is still in some ways part of the spiritual realm. It's the polar opposites that exist to make us know what side we're on. Other than that, we'd be mixed up with everybody. And a lot of us have allowed ourselves to be mixed up with everybody, not understanding that there is a side that you don't ever want to go on. And that's what the light workers have to actually realize. That it's love and light. Like I said, like that song by Dead Prez, I remember a line in the song, he said, yeah, I'm for peace, but I kill you if you fuck with my mom's or my niece. Do you understand what I'm saying? Your passivity is not some automatic thing that you're supposed to be or to identify as a spiritual being. I think about this week, I had to curse a couple people out this week, right? Like I had to really tell people about themselves. And I know that they wouldn't think like, oh, I'm smiling, peace and blessings, how are you? But they was coming for me. It was really my hair. Ghana has a problem with nappy hair. And if you wear an afro, or especially you wear uncombed like mine, then you are a Rasta. And that means you are dirty. So they tried to treat me differently at these places that I frequent. And I knew they were insulting me, and I walked away, but I I called them before I walked away and I cursed their asses out. And it happened again at another establishment, and I told them about themselves as well. And the way that I'm going to fight is they'll never get my money or anybody else's money around me again. Yeah, you are always you're not supposed to be the person that sits around and just let people do whatever they want. But let me tell you how you really fight, because that's still kind of fire with fire, right? On the physical level, that's still kind of, hey, that guy from Texas, that's still kind of fire on fire, right? So let me tell how it becomes this spiritual war, right? Because it just means that it's getting higher and higher. So one thing is, let's think about the root chakra, right, which is red. And red is a color that represents, in a sense, the fire energy. It represents, I can feel it, I can touch it, I can taste it. It's my basic needs being met. That's very much root energy, right? So on that level, yes, in order to get heat, I have to pay my rent, or I have to pay the bill, right? That's a fire to fire. If somebody is rude to me, then on a fire to fire level, a human to human level, a basic to basic level, I am fighting fire with fire. But a spiritual war is in the spiritual, right? That means it's in the unseen. So a lot of times people are fighting you through spiritual measures. And I mean really like root work and juju and voodoo and real evil eye and all kinds of stuff. And you wonder, how could this happen to me? And you'll start going over it. I'm a good person. I don't hurt nobody. I like everyone. And Spirit is saying, and the opposite of that is, some people don't like no one. They go out to hurt people. They're not a good person. You're making this about you, but to other people it's about them. Just as much as you think it's about you, you're asking, why is this happening to me? They're asking, why is this not happening for me? They're looking at you as, you have all the good. Things always work out for you. You have spiritual knowledge. They're really looking at you when you have spiritual fortitude, that you keep coming back in the sense that you, and really forward, that you never stop, that they couldn't defeat you. Best believe they want to defeat you, because they somehow believe, remember, it's the idea that these things that happen to me is because of the things outside of me. And anytime you think that, you become the other side. You become your own enemy. When you think that things are happening to you because of something outside of you. The moment you realize that it's something inside of you, sometimes it's your love, your goodness, right? Your respect, your niceness, your politeness. And sometimes that needs an overhaul. Yeah, you for peace, but you kill them if they F with your mom or your niece. You understand what I'm saying? You want to be like, I'm the most spiritual, mild-mannered person. Let somebody come in your house and put some type of weapon to your child's head. And let me sit there and tell you you're going to pray them away. You're going to love and light them away. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. And Spirit wants you to stand up. But it's not an eye for eye and a tooth for tooth. I promise you it's not that. This is the spiritual standing that Spirit wants you to do. Now, I hope you get ready for it. With that damn fan, yeah. Let's close the window. La, la, la. The light is right in front of me. I think one thing is on. That's out for me. What you have to do is, where they really want to defeat you is within your spirit. I know I'm going to give you everyday things that happens that a lot of people in life, and you wouldn't think that this is a spiritual attack, but it actually is, right? So you're too strong. To them, you're too strong because things happen to you because of your connection to the divine, because of your dedication to your practice. You seem to other people skirt away from it, avoid it, or won't stay in it too long. That is because you're close to Spirit and you're doing as Spirit tells you to do. You're following Spirit. You're not hesitating when Spirit says, go there, do that, leave this, go that. The moment you stop listening to Spirit, Spirit says, this person is not good, but you said, oh, Spirit, I'm just going to give them one more chance. Spirit says, get away from this neighborhood, these people, this plant, this place. You say, oh, Spirit, well, okay, I will next week. You now lose your spiritual favor because you're mocking Spirit. You're saying, it's almost like not listening to your mother or your father. Remember when you were younger and your mom and dad who had experiences that you not yet had, said don't go down that street, don't hang out with that friend, right? Don't eat that certain food, and you went ahead and did it. Some of us were so embarrassed we didn't even come back and tell our mother and father that what we did because we knew they told us not to do it and it happened just the way they said. Well, you're doing the same thing on the spiritual realm when you don't listen to Spirit immediately. A spiritual attack would never ever come to us if we heeded the word of Spirit. If we listen to Spirit, we would never, some people be jujuing themselves. They be voodooing themselves. Do you understand? Because they would not have you. They bargain on you not listening to your Spirit. They bargain. The ones that you think are not spiritual, the ones that you think are straight up, maybe they act like they're Christian, they're always praising God, or they praising John, they just whatever they praise. The fake ones, they are the ones that are banking on the fact that you give up what you know and what you call Spirit, and you stop listening, and you deny it. And that's when you lose. No one can hurt you. They can hurt you on a physical level, but you think it's the physical level that got hurt. It was never the physical level. They hurt you on a spiritual. They broke you on a spiritual level. That is what they go for. Particularly somebody close to you. They know your spiritual practices, and they know when you're not. And they purposely try to keep you off of it. They keep you up at night so you can't get up and pray in the morning. While you're in your space, maybe your living room, or maybe you have a prayer room, you're doing your yoga, they keep coming in and asking you where the cup is, the spoon is, the fork is. They make sure you're late to your appointments when you're expecting them to come get you and take you places. They don't show up when you need them, so you can be stranded. Do you understand? They're there to sabotage. They know that your greatest gift is your connection to the divine. They know that your greatest gift is your connection to Spirit. And you know why they're so jealous? Because they are not connected to Spirit. They're connected to a Spirit, all right, but it ain't the one we call the light, the love, the Most High. They may call out the name of the Most High, but they ain't never seen the Most High. Because for those that have seen the Most High, you see it through their works. You see it through their deeds. You see it through their life. When someone does evil to you, best believe that the person is evil. Don't make it nothing else. As the Black American tradition says, keep it plain. Say it plain. Evil is evil. If they do evil, they are evil. And you don't try to explain it. After childhood they had or didn't have. The mother and father situation that they never reconciled. They are evil. And they are considered your enemy. And you are supposed to remove yourself from your enemy. And the Most High would never keep you in front of the enemy. The only way that the enemy gets to sit in front of you is because they will see themselves in their demise as they're going down. They see you going up. But really, they are not on the vibrational level of you. So therefore, when they're cut off from you, it's a good thing. Now, don't be going to ask for them back. But I really loved him, and he didn't love you. He showed you in every way. He don't have no love in him. She don't have no love in them. You want to be spiritually strong? Then you listen to Spirit. And Spirit will show you every single time who is for you and who is against you. And they will do everything to break you spiritually. Physically, when you're broken physically, it's because you didn't pay attention, didn't listen, didn't heed the spiritual. So they're only going to attack your spirit. They're going to attack, like I said, your practice. They're going to attack your connection to the divine. They're going to make you doubt that there is a God, that there is a God in your life that shows up in many forms and many ways. That's the only way they can take you out. They can't take you out physically if you're fortified spiritually. And how do you stay fortified spiritually? You make sure that your practice is the first thing that comes. If somebody says, oh my God, like, I really want to take you out, and you go, and I want to meet at 5 or 6 in the morning. Oh, 5, 6 in the morning is not going to work for me. You don't have to tell them why. You can just say, that's my spiritual time. I've had people in my life that when I would be out doing my yoga, this is when you know they're on demon time. They would, and I'll say, oh, please don't walk in the room just for a few minutes because I really got to do my yoga practice. They would walk in the room. They would do exactly what you asked them not to do. They would do it. They are not for you. They are wanting to attack your spirituality. And I'm sure the devil's always busy. Exactly. So this is how, if you're eating a certain way because you want to keep your body temple cleansed so that you could hear spirit a lot easier, they will tempt you with foods that they know will make you sick, foods that they know you cannot eat. If you want to keep yourself and your energy clear and being in a room filled with a lot of people, or maybe a lot of drinking or smoking or partying, they're going to tell you you're a party pooper and why you don't want to go out with them. And they're trying to do something nice for us, and you won't allow it. If you keep continually to go to these people after they're showing you that they don't love you, they will cheat on you. They will lie on you. They will steal on you. When do you realize that this is the spiritual warfare that has been prophesied in your life? When will you realize that you now have to put on your spiritual armor, which is your practice, and you have to walk away? Walk away is powerful. To walk away, because they think you're walking away from them, but you're walking to the divine. You're walking to your true protection. You're walking back to yourself. There's nothing out there that can ever come near you and ever hurt you. So when something happens and you say, why me? You go back and think about it. I mean this in a real exercise. Something happens to you, you go, oh my God, why me? Well, they showed you they didn't care about you. You found condoms in their bag. You found numbers on their phone. They cheated, they lied. You found money missing. When you did your spiritual practice, they interrupted. They fed you foods you couldn't eat, drinks you couldn't drink. They put you in positions of people that was not good. They did not protect you. Now, I want you to know, because you asked why. They talked to you bad and you stayed anyway. You explained all of their problems away as if that wasn't their truth, trying to tell you that they were demons and didn't even like you. There is no thing that is negative that happened to you that there was not full warning and opportunity to walk away, and you did not. And let me tell you, it's okay. Because only good people would actually feel bad. Only good people would even really, to me, do you know bad people don't ask why me? They don't even ask it. So you're on the right track. An elder told me this today. Called me from some remote place in Ghana on a spiritual quest and talked to me, and was very deep and really laid some stuff on me. When you disobey your ancestors, and you'll notice by the lies, the cheating, the hurt feelings, the so-called heartbreak, they can't get over it, you have to apologize to your ancestors. Just like in African tradition, the person who has wronged you, everything they touch will crumble until they come back and apologize and acknowledge and take accountability for what they've done. Well, their life will just stay in disarray. And the apology will break it if it's sincere, if it's real, if it's coming from the heart. It will break all the negativity in your life. It does the same thing this is all spiritual realm, just the next realm. So now you, me, us, we have to turn to our ancestors and say, I apologize. I realize how you spoke to me. I saw the ways that you have spoken to me, and I chose to turn my back. I chose to close my eyes. But I want to apologize to you. And the elder also told me, and you tell him, and I promise never to do it again. That's a hard one, because you're scared now. You're like, oh my God, what if I don't know that I'm doing it? The only way you don't know that you're doing it is you neglecting your practice. Consider anybody that participates in the neglecting of your project or your practice to be an enemy. And you must get rid of them immediately from your house, from your home, from your heart, from your body, from your mind, and from your spirit. They know that if I can get them off, they know the power. They don't have that. They're in the wicked, the land of the wicked. They have none of that. They don't know God like that. But they pretend to. They're actors. They're not real. You are real. That's why you would even ask, why me? You are real, trying to understand why bad things happen to good people. Because good people ain't supposed to be no suckers out here. Do you think that your divine, your backup, your God and goddess is a sucker? I want you to really think about this. What kind of God are you going towards that you think is, you think God's a punk? You think the goddess is a punk? Even the rooster said, hell nah. Even the rooster like, say it again, mama, say it again. What you saying? Stay in your practice and watch. You have to watch. You have to watch. You open your heart and your doors and your walls and your legs too fast, and they get in and they lodge themselves. And even when they leave, their essence is still around you. Don't let them in the first place. You can say no the first time and mean it. Your spiritual practice is better than any no more lovers if you please, no more one-night stands, no more situationships, no more lies, no more hurts, no more delusions. Your spiritual practice is life. Your spiritual practice is love. Your spiritual practice is protection. Your spiritual practice is order. Your spiritual practice is compassion for yourself and the divine for you. You allow those things to come in, and you push the divine right out. What they say, ego edging God out. So if you ask yourself, next time something happens to you, and you say, why is this happening to me? You go down the road, you go back in memory, and you see all the places that somebody showed you, that something showed you that it was not for you, and you kept going back. But the easiest thing is, think about your spiritual practice right now and how everyone in your life responds to your spiritual practice. You even got to train your children. Mama praying right now. Mama meditating right now. Mama doing her yoga. Don't you come up in this room. Because then if they continue to do that, you're going to have to say now, they don't need a spiritual bath because they don't get it, but they need to get it. Protect yourself so you won't wreck yourself. Spiritual practices, spiritual boundaries, spiritual love. Your enemy are protecting your spiritual practice. If you just ladies, if you just meet somebody and you're telling them like, oh, you know, they were like, why you ain't call me yesterday morning? Well, I explained to you that between these hours, that's the time for myself. So I really don't call anybody. I don't really talk. And you might even say, maybe I talk, I pray, meditate with my family. If they got a problem with that, if that bothers them, if you notice that you are cohabitating with someone and you ask them again that this is my spiritual practice, this room, could you just please don't open the door, don't knock on it between these hours, and they continue to do it, they're showing you they're scared. They know that you're going to find out about them if you keep going toward the divine. They know that their time with you is very short. When we say, oh, people don't like you, somebody show you how they don't like you, we're looking at it like from a very human perspective. No, they don't like the God and the goddess that represents you. They fear that because they know that if you listen to that and not to them, they will not be of them. This is spiritual warfare. So stop asking why me, or I would say, I would love you to continue to ask why me. And ask it expecting an answer, because you will get it. You will get it. So anyway, short line, let me make sure everybody here for good. The scripture say there's no peace for the wicked. No, there isn't. Come on, Marshall. No weapon formed against shall prosper. No, the devil's always busy. This is true. Thank you for sharing. Hey, Lakeisha, I am great. I'm wonderful. Good morning, Sister Lisa. You looking beautiful. Peace of blessings to you, Marshall. Hey, that guy from Texas. Thank you. That's you. Thank you. Good morning. Tupac said, I ain't a killer, but don't push me. Come on now. Come on now. Yes. So something that Spirit is calling you to do and you've been delaying. I know Spirit has been telling me to do something. And let's talk about that a bit. What about this thing like Spirit told you to do something? It's been on your heart, it's been on your mind, but for whatever reason, maybe you're one old baby, like what they want me to do is boring, or I'm over here having fun. Spirit want me to go back over there. There's nothing to do over there. We want me to hang out with that person. I'd rather be hanging out with that person. That person is more fun. And this and this. And you cannot understand why Spirit is getting you to do something. And you don't do it. You're gonna reap some bad fruit, a bad harvest, because you didn't listen. You have to listen, and you have to obey. And sometimes I know it's difficult because that part of you that want to have fun or do something different or think that you know, if you follow Spirit, the blessings that's coming. But I'm gonna tell you when you know it's Spirit speaking, because there'll be things that, so you'll say, well, I want to stay here because I'm working with a particular, let's say, person, and then the person goes on vacation themselves, or the person gets sick and is hospitalized, or the person's just not around. Then you go, well, I'm staying because I still have one more other person I have to work with, and they go abroad, and they're not there anymore. They might even expire other ways. If your excuse is based on these people, places, and things, and those people, places, and things are being swept away from you, it is the universe telling you to go where I say to go. Because what they're sending you to, the places, whether that's an internal or external place, is a place for you to get spiritually fortified. You have to re-up, just like a car that needs gas. You only can go so far for so long without gas. You only can go so far for so long without spiritual fuel. So a lot of times, and it could be Spirit says, don't go out for the next day or say. Or stay inside and clean up and use your time. These are things that, or Spirit say, go away for a little while. Go to the mountains, or go to the ocean, or go to the river. Take some days off. It is usually you're being called to be fortified, that your magic is wearing off, which is your protection. And that it's time to go get locked in. Your enemies know when you do that what it's going to be like. They already know you're coming back anew. And this December, because it's the end of the month of the 9 year, which is a year of completion, we're going into the one with the year of new beginnings. If you're getting any inkling to disengage, to take some days off, to clean house, to go somewhere else, you know the message that's for you. Heed the words. You won't regret it. All right, ladies and gentlemen who watch, I appreciate you so very much. I am available for one-on-one consultations. All information is in the description box. I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love.